Dot is presented by Benjamina Mia Casino. Licensed real estate professional since 2008. License number S01669991 LLC. It's lunch hour in Vegas, and we're on the dot with Dot and Mia here on PHLV Radio.
Hello! It's a Wednesday, and it's the last Wednesday of the month of July. And our theme for July up to now is... What's that, Mia?
Men are from Mars.
Right. We're not talking about women. We're talking about men are from Mars. My name is Dorothy Tome. You can call me Dot. And my partner here is...
Hello, I'm Mia.
Mia.
Meow.
Hi, Mia.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to On the Dot.
Welcome to summer. And let's introduce our guest. Yeah, Mia?
Yes, our guest is in the name of the Father.
Okay.
And he is a father.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
How's everybody doing today?
Let us introduce the Father in the name of the Father, and he is also a husband, an energy healer, a practitioner of Reiki, a Reiki Master, and he is into yoga, meditation, and a plant medicine. Plant medicine. Is it plant medicine?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And
absolutely.
he loves camping and spending time outdoors. Mr. Ken Lau, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, everybody.
Thank you for being here, Ken. Ken, yeah. Let's, I'm curious about Ken, where he's from.
Where am I from?
Yeah. I mean, are you really from Mars, or are you from...
At one point in time, in a different life, yes.
You're from Mars.
Yeah. But here in this lifetime, my family's from China, but we moved to California So my family was leaving Vietnam, but we're Chinese. We lived in Vietnam. We went from, during the war time in Vietnam, moved over here, tried to come to America, and we ended up in the Philippines.
Did you say it was a camp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where me and my brother was born. I'm a twin.
Oh, you have a twin.
Yeah, we were both born there at the refugee camp. Basically, my mom was too far along, so they wouldn't let us leave until we were born, and then we were able to move to America. And then we went to California.
That's so interesting, Mia.
So is your twin named Kenneth?
No, actually, Ken is not been my. That's a very good one. I've actually never heard that one. I usually hear. I hear a lot of people say, "Where's Ryu?" Do you guys know about Ken and Ryu from Street Fighter, the game?
No.
Okay. Well, it's a fighting game.
Oh.
And when my name is actually long in my legal name, but when I went, I think it was around 5th grade, I didn't want it to have a more Americanized name. But in the game Street Fighter, there's like 2 players that are like the main player, and it's like they have the same move and everything. And one is Ken and one is Ryu. And I like Ryu, but I'm like I can't pick Ryu because it's another non-American name. So I went with Ken, and that's kind of how I chose my name.
Oh.
Yeah, and so growing up, a lot of people were like, "Where's Ryu?" I'm like, "He's at the arcade."
Okay, so that's interesting to know. I never thought, it never occurred to me that you would have a connection with the Philippines. So
Yeah, so I have dual citizenship.
Oh,
yeah.
really? All right.
That's what I was told.
interesting.
I mean, I've never been back there, but I was told that in the Philippines, they let you have 2 citizenship, so you were able to keep it, supposedly. So
okay.
I mean, I'm guessing from what I've heard that I have 2 citizenship.
There you go. Yeah, incidentally, we're going to have a outreach on August 12 and 13, and Yipaan is the host. So we're going to invite everybody.
Consular outreach.
Yes, consular outreach at 68350.
August
12 and 13th.
Yes.
9 to 5 p.m.
Okay, this year. And it's back with Yupaan. And so we're here and we're talking about, our topic is In the Name of the Father. And we're interested in your, how's fatherhood like to you? Being a spiritual leader or a healer, or your spiritual practice.
It's been amazing and hard at the same time, but going into becoming a father, I kind of knew that there's going to be some challenges because being on the spiritual path, we believe that we're basically choosing to do the work, choosing to do healing, because we all have either ancestral trauma that's being passed down through the lineage, or we either have trauma growing up from when we were kids, from when we were young, here in this lifetime. And that creates our preconception, our understanding of life, and our triggers and how we see the world in front of us. And so I knew, and for me, I actually had sexual trauma growing up, and I knew that it was becoming a father was going to trigger like trauma of was going to come up for healing. And there was definitely a lot of healing. I definitely went through a dark space and was able to as best as I could navigate it and receive the healing that I needed to kind of move on, because a lot of the stuff that happened to me when I was younger was shoved down and more so suppressed or repressed. Like I couldn't really remember it until I started doing my energy work and also practicing, like walking the spiritual path. And that's when more of that trauma and this stuff started coming up.
Wow. No.
Yeah. Luckily for me, I feel very blessed because having my trauma, you can go either way. I think a lot of people can either become very negative or go towards a lot of drugs. Not that I haven't done that growing up, but I definitely had my route, my escape routes of what I definitely drank for a very big period of my life and did some drugs too. But a lot of people can go down really a dark rabbit hole and can't really find their way out. And usually, and for me also, I think I was very lucky that I was very positive because I more so learned how to shut down the negative and I focused on the positive. So everything was beautiful.
So your son does not experience the darkness anymore? I mean, does
experience
he
the darkness?
Your dark side, your trauma and all that.
Well, I think for me, because growing up as a man and being, having my trauma, or just in American life here in this world, in this lifetime, everybody's being a man, you're usually being told to shut down your emotion. When you fall, when you get hurt or anything like that, your boy, don't cry, get back up. It's okay. And, it's not that our parents did their best. They did what they could for our best, and that's what they knew. Your boy, you don't cry, you stay strong. But a lot of times, but what happens is we shut down our opportunity to learn how to feel our emotions. So a lot of times it becomes bottled up. So for me, my issue is like, I would either go from 0 to 60 or 100. If I get triggered, then it's like a fight or flight. And, growing up in not the best part of the country, the States, I grew up in Oakland. Mine was a lot of it was fight, it's like either fight or flight. And my response a lot of times is fight. So if I'm being yelled at, I'll yell back, and it can become escalated really fast. But it's for me now, I've been on the spiritual path for some time now and learning how to understand my emotions. And that was when I first started doing, I do talk therapy, and I have no problem with talk therapy. I think therapy is great for everybody, because there's so much mental illness here,
We're
in our
talking
country, in
about
our
that.
world.
Yes, mental health issues.
Yeah, and when I started doing therapy, because my wife, my now wife, was my girlfriend at the time. When I met her, she was already doing therapy, so I just jumped in like, I'll join your family session. And what was interesting is I found out that my level of understanding, my emotional intelligence was of a toddler.
A toddler.
Of a toddler. I did this game, and it showed that my emotional intelligence, or what I connect with, a lot of emotions were not there. I was either like I was very connected to the happy, bliss, joy, good, and all that stuff. But because of what happened to me, I shut down all the negatives to survive, and that was what gave me the opportunity to live on.
Yeah. So now, do you tell your son you have?
How many kids do you have?
Just one.
Yeah.
Just one right
How
now.
old?
He is 2 year and so December 2 year and
a half.
And a half now.
Yeah, almost. Yeah. So do you encourage him to cry? Or,
Absolutely.
Whatever his feeling is.
Big time. Like, and that's the thing, so our parenting style is very
different.
Very different from the conventional way. We're like, I think you can call it conscious parenting, or you can call it
like that.
Gentle parenting. And our parenting style is like, if Bodhi is my son, if he has...
What's the name?
Bodhi, like the Bodhi tree. Have you heard of that?
Oh.
Bodhi, the tree where Buddha actually gained enlightenment. Under that tree. It's a ficus tree, but that tree became a Bodhi tree because
the Buddha sat there.
The Buddha sat there, and he attained Bodhi. Bodhi means enlightenment, so he attained Bodhi there under the ficus tree. So that tree became the Bodhi tree.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's interesting, because the it's not really the quote, but what I'm going to say later on is a quote from Buddha.
Oh, I love it.
Love it. Yeah, we're so online all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were saying conscious parenting with Bodhi.
Yeah, so whenever he has an outburst of emotions or whatever it is, because they're learning, they don't really know how to really express, and they just feel emotions, so they just. You can go like the tantrum. People say terrible two. We call it terrific two.
Terrific.
We call it terrific twos. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good renaming.
Yeah, like my wife's. Thankfully, I'm very grateful for my wife that she was in early childhood education. She has a degree in it, and she was teaching, and she was a school director for 11 years.
Oh, good.
So I mean, if I didn't have her, I probably will do a little bit of research, but I wouldn't have the extensive understanding that she's passed on to me, to this is why we do this, and this is why you shouldn't do this, and and it's just been very helpful. I feel like our union is happened in a very
made in heaven.
yes, like for sure, in a way where we're meant to come together with our own trauma in life and our own understanding after going through our life, to be able to produce like Bodhi, and hopefully bring him up to be somebody in the society that he can help others in the world.
Nice. I like that. See? In the name of the Father.
And of the Son.
And definitely, whenever he has a big tantrum where he's screaming and yelling, we'll really just step aside and let him do his thing, let him scream and yell, and we'll just try to give him the eye, or give him the emotion, show him that we're feeling what he's feeling. I'm sorry that you're feeling like this, or whatever. We'll really come down to his level and let him feel. I understand how you feel. You must be feeling really upset right now because of what happened, or you must be really frustrated, really angry. So we've taught him all the emotions, and it's okay to feel your emotion. It's okay to cry. You need time, because it's important. This is the time where his neural pathway is actually connecting the dots of how to process the emotions.
Yeah.
And for all of us growing up, not all of us, but a big majority of us, we grow up shutting it down. So that's why you have people that as they grow older, their response is just 0 to 60 like mine, or just it's a really hard thing to do to try to center, because your response is was shut down, and then you're all bottled up inside.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's a very good point for those of us who are listening, having mental issues. It's good to really just confront the emotion, deal with it, face it, right? Face it. It's even helpful to name the emotion and really feel it, and then instead of bottling it up all the way in your head, and you're gonna go crazy.
Right,
go crazy.
You don't even know that you're doing it a lot of time. Like, I didn't know I was suppressing all these emotions and all these things. It was not. It was just. I just felt I'm lucky. I'm happy-go-lucky, and I'm very lucky for that. Growing up,
Happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
And now you're lucky.
Yeah, but I was shoving it down, and I didn't know. So my escape was alcohol, and drugs, and stuff like that when I was in my teens.
Yeah.
Even up to my 20s, I was still drinking. I mean, so but that was an escape that I didn't realize. It's just what I knew to have a good time.
Yeah. Are there other fathers like you here? Do you have friends who are like that?
I definitely have a lot of friends that are also on the path of healing, and they're doing the work. Understanding that we have work to do. We all have so much trauma that's imposed on us or passed down through our lineage or our generation that needs healing. So when we heal it here, we're no longer passing it down through other generations.
Yes.
And we're also energetically healing the lineage backwards.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's
the
true.
healing goes both ways,
Front and back.
And when you were saying confronting the emotions, I don't do this, but one of the things that my wife does is like she even will imagine, like when she has certain emotions, she'll see a character in each emotion.
Oh, yeah.
And she'll sit and talk to that emotion. Like, it's okay that you're feeling that. Talk to her, that you're here, and then just connect with it and let that emotion be, because energetically it's there. So like what you were saying is just right on point, right on the money right there. But I think for me, I just more so try to speak it out and just try to like speak to my childhood self and tell myself that it's okay to feel whatever I'm feeling.
Yeah. Do you suppress your emotions, Mia?
Me too, I'm very transparent.
That's good.
Yeah.
You express right away, right?
Yeah, whatever I can't say, you'd see it on my face.
Ah, okay.
That's good. And a lot of us, we never got the opportunity to learn to be able to. A lot of people were just automatically shut down, so. And another thing too, like the other day we was at a gathering, and another way of like letting them learn their emotions is my son hurt himself. And we usually will be like, we'll come to him like, "You okay, baby?" and this and that. "I'm sorry that happened. I'm sure, did that hurt?" And then sometimes he'll scream like, no. He's screaming. He needs his time, and we'll give him this time. But a lot of people see that as like you're making him weak. If you would have.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because that's how I was brought up too. Like if somebody fall. If somebody fall and you go to the kids like, "Oh, you okay?" Then they're gonna cry. But the thing is, a lot of time we change the subject, or we try like, "Oh, get up and go do something else," to like, so they won't connect with what just happened. But what happens is we're actually shutting down the opportunity to learn to feel their emotions. They clearly got hurt, so it's clearly okay to feel, and I don't think it's going to turn them into like a little sissy or anything like that. It's just there. And if it seems that way now, it won't be in the future, because it's just teaching them how to be in the future, how to feel when they're having emotion. And that way, when something happens in life, they're not going to have such a hard time processing through it. They're going to know how to process their emotions right from the get-go. They're actually learning it now.
Yes. So my next question, do you have a question?
Oh, no. I'm just listening to.
So my other question is, you as a man, as a father, husband, having learned to sit with your emotions or express yourself openly, how does this help your marriage? I'm sure it does, but I'm wondering if other men could pick up lessons from you, in understanding your wives, your girlfriends, mothers.
Yeah, big time. I think for a lot of men, not knowing their emotion, not feeling their emotion, it's hard for you to even learn to validate your wife's emotions. But because I'm learning to really understand my emotion, feel my emotion, it doesn't make it easy still. There's still times that it's too strong of emotion that I can to overcome. I'll like get to escalate it, and then we'll have to take a break,
Take a break.
Yeah, but
Instead of break up. Take a break instead of break up. Yes.
A lot of times, I think it's important for us to, really stop and just, have you guys heard of the LUV? Like love, but it's basically you listen, you understand, and you validate. So that's a practice,
understand,
and validate.
That's nice.
So like if me and my wife's arguing, if we're too escalated, one of us will say, okay, let's just talk about it later. Sometimes it's not as easy as let's just talk about it later, because sometimes she still have something to say, or I still have something to say, So, but when we can, we do our best to let's talk about it later, and then we'll come back later. We for sure come back and have to talk about it if it's something that's needs to be talked about. So we'll come back, and now, are you free to talk? Can we talk about it now? And then if she's okay, open to it. We're both open to it, so we're both coming from a space of trying to listen.
Okay.
So if she starts, I just listen. I'll listen, and then I listen to what she said, and then how I show her what I show her is, okay, by listening is the first part, and then I show her I understand by repeating it. Okay, so you're telling me that this happened, this happened, and it made you feel sad, it made you feel inferior, or it made you feel insulted, whatever the case may be.
That's the validation.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that's parts of the validation. So you tell her by telling her understand by repeating what she said, kind of like tell her that you're listening. And then the validation part is just telling her that I understand that must feel really horrible to feel demean or anything like that. That's actually not one that we have an issue with. But
so you don't just walk out on each other, right? Yeah. Is that how you deal with your conflicts, to me? I don't know. No.
No.
You have a question?
Is your wife Filipina or?
She's Italian.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, she's Italian.
Nice.
So, but I mean, we both was not brought up with that kind of understanding and emotions and stuff. So she's been doing a lot of work in understanding her emotions and learning how to communicate. But even having this LUV practice is not the solve it all. You still have to work with your emotions inside, and actually every opportunity you get when an argument come up is your opportunity to seize the moment and try to not go with what you usually do, which is scream or yell. Because as soon as you start breaking those cycles, it's going to start rewiring your neural pathway, because it's all very wired very tightly. I think, lack of a better term.
That's true. Yeah. So
it takes a lot of work to break those.
It's a neuro thing.
Yeah.
Yes. So hold on a bit.
Sure.
We're past our half hour.
Really?
We're almost there. I think a minute.
Okay.
In a minute, and we're gonna take a short break. And meanwhile, our wait who what question is.
What does the moon do to you?
Yes, and if you're a woman, surely something's going on in there. We're going to ask Ken about that later, and we'll talk about it too. We have lots of videos from people from Davao, but we'll take a short break and we will be back. Don't go away.
This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.
PHLV Radio. On the Dot is presented by Benjamina Mia Casino. Licensed real estate professional since 2008. License number S01669991 LLC.
Welcome back to the channel. Parang YouTube channel. You can watch us actually on Facebook, YouTube, and on Amazon Fire TV. You can listen to us on the PHLV Radio app. Yes, we do have an app. Or you can get our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. I'm not completely sure if all of our shows are there, but you can try, right here on the Dot with Mia and Dot. Yes. So, let's go to the question, Mia. What does the moon do to you? Why did you come up with that question, my dear?
I know we're talking about spirituality. That's why.
Okay. What does the moon do to you?
Me?
Yeah.
It makes me romantic. Because, wherever you are, you're looking at the same moon.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Right?
I love that.
The moon, for me, what does it do to me? It makes me feel mystical and magical. I always go out during the full moon, unless there's nothing to see, because sometimes there are full moons where it's very cloudy, right? But I go out and I charge my crystals, my angel cards, my singing bowl, and all that. And I take a bottle of water, just ordinary water, and I put it out in the moon, and I drink that for the next I dilute that with the rest of my drinking water. It's called moon water.
Sometimes it makes me lunatic too.
Oh, yes, all the time, Mia. All the time. What does the moon do to you, Ken?
Oh, many things, really. I do all the stuff that you do, moon water, we go out there and we set our intention and charge our crystals. We do that too. And typically for the full moon, we do a purge. Our intention is a purge. Our intention is energetically, we're asking to release what's causing us whatever issues or trouble. It's a time for purge because the energy is like full. The moon's full and it's helping you clean it out. And then so when it's a new moon, we usually set intention for new beginnings, like trying to set an intention for something that we're excited about, like a project or something like that, and ask for the moon to give it the good energy, if you will.
Oh, yes.
But it definitely kicks in the crazies, like you were saying, during the full moon. It definitely, our emotions are more elevated, and we're 70, I don't know how many percent now, really. I hear different numbers, but 70% water, basically, our body, and the ocean's being affected by it. We're totally being affected by it as well,
Surely. Like my friend from California, he works in the hospital, ER. I don't know if our nurses here can validate this. Every full moon, thereabouts, beginning, the day before and the day after the full moon, the ER is packed with accidents and I don't know, something's exploding, something's
it's
leaving,
real,
right?
Yeah, for sure. And what's funny is I hear as well the cycle, like women's cycle, tend to fall together on a full moon a lot, where it comes together. And and I've been in different plant medicine ceremonies, and it's what's funny is that when you're in ceremony, a lot of times all the women are like on their moon is what they is called, like on their
cycle, on
their cycle,
yes,
and it's a thing.
Menstrual cycle. What is plant medicine?
Plant medicine is that there's just different type of plant on earth that can help us heal our trauma, or can help us connect to a level of connect with the divine, if you will.
Oh, and so it's different from herbal medicine?
Well, it's not herbal in a, no, it's same, really. It's because it's still plant, it's still still plant medicine. Herbal medicine is the same thing. Yeah. But when I speak of plant medicine, I speak of the ones that actually give you the ceremony, like, have you heard of ayahuasca ceremonies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so ayahuasca is a plant. It's with the.
Is it a cactus? Kind of cactus?
That one is the wachuma, which is the San Pedro, the cactus. That's the grandfather plant. That's the grandfather spirit. So when we talk about ayahuasca, is actually the grandmother plant, and it's a vine. So the ayahuasca is a vine that's grown in the Amazon, and it is paired with a separate plant which is called a chacruna, and with the two, it becomes a brew, and that brew is how you create the medicine. And when people go to retreats to sit in these kind of these ceremony or retreats, it's not fun. It's not recreational. You're screaming, yelling, and there's a lot of purging.
Okay.
There's a lot of definitely had.
So it's spiritual.
Yes.
It's spiritual.
Yes.
A lot of people connect with the grandmother and they see her. I don't, but like I definitely had the worst night of my life during one of my ceremony when I asked to, because you set intention going to it, what you want to heal and what you want to work on, what you want to understand.
Is it safe for everyone or just for a few people?
I think it's safe for a majority of the people. I think it's not safe depending on like certain
If you have medical conditions.
certain medical condition. And the other thing is if you're on antidepressant, you will have to be off of antidepressant for a month.
Okay.
Because
Before you
the
do it.
medicine is definitely helping you with your
Is it very
depression.
Effective?
It's very powerful,
effective?
very effective.
powerful.
And you hear people do therapy for 30 years, and they'll go and sit in a retreat and
Like that?
in a ceremony like that, and they come out understanding and different and seeing what they couldn't see before. So it's very powerful.
Like they're healed. Like the healing is faster.
Faster. I wouldn't say they're healed, but it's activated and it's a lot faster. And I feel like the medication that we're on usually is like just it keeps us where we are. It's not really healing us. It's helping us soothe whatever the issue. Like going to therapy or taking certain kind of medication, more so helping at the time being, not so much healing the deep wound that's within us.
Okay. All right. Hold on. So we're going to take a very, very short break.
Sure.
As we watch these videos of people answering the question, what does the moon do to you? Okay. So
All right.
let's watch this.
Hi, Migs. Regarding full moon, for me, every full moon, it makes me balance with yin and yang. It balances my energy. It balances the female and male energy. So every full moon is a very crucial event every month. So I spend time with it. Thank you. Bye.
Hi, I'm Jen. Moon for me is it's illuminating and it gives me amazing power.
Jenny and the moon. Hi, I'm Jenny, and the moon for me illuminates my reflection at night.
Hi, I'm Ruby Villafuerte. Moon for me gives me a relaxed mood.
Hello, I'm Jay.
I am Hope. The moon for me reveals a lot of emotions. Hi, I'm Princess, and the moon for me is my conduit of intuitive power.
Hi, I'm Jessie Magsakay. Moon for me is guidance and light.
Hi, I'm Nita Mendoza. For me, moon is light, somebody or something that brings light to a dark situation or a dark day or night. Okay. My name is Rosabel. I have not put any meaning to them. That's all.
The moon in all its brilliance gives me so much joy, and I feel so illuminated and enlightened. It's such a gift that I want to treasure every time I see it.
Okay, so
I love it. I love everybody's response.
Yeah. They're one of them is an angel card reader. One is a tarot card reader.
Okay.
One is he does the cacao ceremony. That's also plant.
The first one? The first,
yes.
I can
sensed him.
Yeah, I can sense certain ones talking about it. But I love all the answers, especially the one at the end too. That she hadn't put any meaning to it.
No
yet.
meaning,
And it's okay.
Versatile, yes. So for you, that's the moon, right? I don't know. What's your answer to that question? Or did I miss it?
There's purging.
The purging.
Setting intentions. There's a lot of. There's a lot of meaning to the moon. The question is, how does it make me feel?
Yeah.
Yes, what it does to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It feels good overall. I really enjoy looking at the moon. So even when it's just a little sliver.
Yeah. Nice. So you do other kinds of healing. You're an energetic healer.
Yes.
And by that, what do you mean?
Well, me and my wife are both Reiki Master. But I remember when I've done a session on one of my friends, when we sat and done a session for one of my friends, like, this is not Reiki, which is it? I'm sorry, guys. That's mine.
Is it?
Yeah. This is blocking it out, but I hear it in here. I apologize.
Oh, no.
So it's intuitive healing. So when we connect with somebody, like if I were to perform energy work on you, I will use my body as a proxy. So I connect my body and your body together. So when I'm working on you, let's say if I feel pain on my shoulder here, I'll connect that as two, because we have the yin and the yang side. Mm-hmm. And I'll find, like, intuitively, I'll know why is this area hurting and what for, and then we'll dig deep. It's kind of like, it's therapy. It's energy healing, but it's a lot of therapy. But for my wife's a psychic and a medium. So when we do it together, for her, she uses her body as a proxy too, but for her, visions come. So when she's sitting with somebody, like, we tap in through your 7 chakras, and every chakra, like, certain messages will come through. For me, it will either, like, where I feel pain or where I feel tension is how I dissect and figure out what's going on. And then we remove that energy to help the healing, to facilitate the healing and to help hold space for it.
You think perhaps we modern humans, I'm thinking that we should explore all these non-corporate, kinds of healing modality, because we're putting, if we use, I'm okay, I don't have a war against pharmaceuticals, okay, that's a caveat. We did say that our opinions, you will say that later, that our opinions are our own, but I feel like there should be an exploration of these different kinds of healing modalities. What do you think, Mia? Yeah.
I'm more into natural.
Yeah, natural healing. Like this one, energy and plant medicine. By the way, we're gonna ask Ken to read that little script we have, because that's like a caveat for us here. Go ahead, Ken.
Sure.
All right.
Just the top section.
The whole of it.
The whole thing. Oh, okay. I didn't know.
You're great at here.
All right.
On the Dot is a joint excuse me. On the Dot is a joint project of PHLV and the University of the Philippines Alumni Association of Nevada, or UPAAN, a 501c3 nonprofit. Content on the Dot are not of PHLV and UPAAN, but a host of guests. Sponsor and advertiser are welcome. Funds will support scholars, academy project, academic project, relief operation, and community events. All UP graduates. Like, how do you say that? All UP graduates currently residing in Nevada are welcome to join UPAAN. Call 702-281-9063. 702-281-9063.
Yay!
All up graduates.
Yes. That's for you. Yeah, that's one of our gimmicks. So if you're going to be our guest, You will have to talk like that.
You get a uno.
And maybe I have a little vision of splicing our different guests, certain portions and coming up with one whole, like maybe 10 people saying the same thing one after the other. So
cool.
That's just my project. I don't know, Kuya Yo, that's a big project for you.
I like that.
Yeah.
All up graduates.
All up, yeah, nowhere to go but up.
Yes, I love it.
Yes, nowhere to go but up. Okay, so what's our? Do you have another question, Mia? Because
When did you start your spiritual journey?
Well, I would say 2015 is when I can precisely, consciously start it. But I think we all kind of on that path already, like long before we really realized that we're having a spiritual awakening. But I'll say 2015 was the beginning of my realizing. But before that, I was already into wanting to meditate and wanting to connect. Like, I was raised Buddhist, wanting to meditate and thinking that it's cool and stuff like that. But little did I know that had a very big part in my shift and awakening my spiritual path. So 2015.
So it's your path is more of a Buddhist, the Buddhist way, the Buddha way.
I resonate a lot with Buddhism, the Tao. But I don't condone any other religion. Like Christianity, I think all religions are great because it's teaching you towards doing something right and good. I just throw away all the rest that's no good because I see the rest that's no good as people, human, putting it in there and trying to put their egoic understanding into it. Because I think every religion has good and bad things that I agree with and things that I don't. Yeah. But overall, I think Buddhism, it's not because I was raised Buddhist, but I think I just resonate with it the most so far. Like most of it just kind of fits. For
Interestingly, we danced hula for the Oban Festival last Friday, where they celebrated the ancestry.
Is that Japanese?
It's Japanese and Buddhist festival.
How was it for you?
It was fun. They danced in circles to celebrate the ancestors that are passed away.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love it.
The ancestors. And speaking of Buddhist, our quote for today is.
Yes, are we all? Is it the time for the quote?
We have we have time, but we could have a great conversation on that.
Yes, it's actually a saying. So a man asked Lord Buddha, "I want happiness." Lord Buddha said, "First remove I, that's ego. Then remove want, that's desire. See now, you are left with only happiness."
Oh, I love that.
Love it. I've heard that one before. I like it. Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Let's see how it coincides with the sun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you guys plan this?
No,
I didn't.
The divine.
It just happened.
We don't know what she's having.
No,
We don't know the questions
No,
that
I
are
believe
coming
you.
up.
It's totally a thing. It's synchronicity is how
Yes.
it is definitely synchronistic.
Yeah. So what do you think of that? I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's very deep, and a lot of times, I feel like a lot of things with spirituality and happiness is still hard for me to understand. Like especially that quote, because I think a lot of times having the I is what creates a lot of suffering and unwanted unhappiness because we're wanting something, we're lacking something, so we're wanting something. So then we're unhappy because we're. What was the other line? We're
remove the
I, that's ego. Remove the want, that's desire.
Desire.
So you're left with
happiness. Yeah. So if you cut all that out, really we have so much to be grateful for. So everything is so beautiful. But because I think a lot of times people are unhappy and having a hard time is because that we have a different expectation and our desire is that we want something or we want something to happen this way, but it's not. So we're upset about it.
Yeah.
So I think when you, like Buddha said, you release those and it's easier said than done. You're able to really achieve the happiness.
Yeah, diba? Profound. Why did you choose that, dear?
I know. Usually I just choose something that's said by, a quote. But then when I saw it, I was like, I like this one for a change.
Beautiful.
What do you think of it?
It's beautiful and it's true.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So that's good. Very good point there. The I. Who is the I? Our good friend would say, who is the I that says this? Is it your ego or is it the I am? In Christianity,
Right.
the I am is God.
It's God.
So is it your big self, your higher self, or your lower self? And then the wanting is you want it because you don't have it. So I want it because I don't have it. But I learned last week that the want there, the desire there can be flipped. As in, the true me, the true you, wants to express this love, this essence of who you really are. You're light and you're love. So the wanting is no longer out of desire, but out of the impulse, the intuition to just express. It needs to go out, and so it has to radiate, something like that. So it's a
like
shift, no? It's a shift in perception. So if I want happiness, it's not because I don't have it, but I want to radiate happiness. Because that's who I really am. So there's no lack in it. There's only abundance in it. Or I want a house. Why do you want a house? Because I want to express my creativity. I want to feed people. It's no longer from a sense of lack, but a sense of fullness.
And being,
generosity and all that. So
I love that.
That's my other shift in that thing. So removing the I as well.
I love it. I hear you and I see you. I see what you're saying.
He's doing the LUV.
That's actually when I said that, I wasn't actually trying to do the LUV, but have you guys seen Avatar, right?
Mm-hmm. Which one?
So Avatar, the first one. But
not the Avatar
Way of Water. Well, either one. They both do they go, I see you. But when they say I see you, they say I see you as in your God form. I see I see
your divinity.
I see what you mean, your divinity, and I see exactly what you. So that's what I meant when I said I see you.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Like
namaste.
Yes, like namaste.
Namaste. How do you pronounce that? Namaste or
namaste?
Namaste.
I think that's how I see it.
The divine in me sees the divine in you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do yoga too, right?
I do. I love yoga.
Do you teach?
I've taught before a little bit, just more so because we have a crystal group that we host, and then we used to do like a monthly meetup, and I taught a class. I didn't teach it. It's not a class.
Crystal, yeah.
Yeah. we have a crystal group. It's LVV Crystal Cave, and it's just before COVID, it was just everybody coming together once a month to a crystal shop to go shop there or to check out crystal, and then we all go eat. So it became a group of friends. So after COVID, definitely has died down a bit. We stopped doing a lot of events and things like that. So, but sometimes we'll even do events at our own house, like a sound healing.
Galing. Yeah. Wow. Galing means nice, good,
nice,
great.
Nice.
Yeah. So how do all of these things that you told us about translate into you being a father now? So we talked about healing earlier, and now you have this expanded version of things that you love.
Well, I think that I think ultimately being a father is amazing. I love my boys so much. The thing is, for me, it took me a while. It's not that I didn't love him in the beginning, but there was a delay in my wife would be like, oh my gosh, she was in so much love for him already, but she had a year ahead of me, or 9 months ahead of me, because she's already been connecting with the baby. They've been connecting for she had a head start. But for me, I think
love that.
because and it's true. But there was definitely a lot of trauma that came up for me, so it was hard. I was being very present and being very there for them, but I think in the beginning, and then as time gone, I actually ended up having depression. And it's very common too for men to have depression after a pregnancy. and it's what is it, postpartum?
Postpartum.
Men can also have that.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Supposedly, I hear it's 1 out of 10, but I feel like that number is not accurate. I feel like there's probably more, but it's just not being recorded, you know. But I had depression, and I was going through it for a while. I wasn't really connecting with. I think I was disassociating my emotions, was being shut down. I was feeling a lot of love, enjoying, and trying to be present. But until what's funny is like we feel that we were bringing this child in for the world because you know of the new generation is going to be here to help with the shift, with the awakening, and then so somehow it became like a mission in my head. Until 6 months down the line, I was like, oh my gosh, like he's cracking up and I'm cracking up. I'm like, this is why people have babies, you know, because the joy and the fun is so amazing. But I kind of forgotten that. It just became something else for me. But as time goes now, fast forwarding to 2.5 years, 2 years, I'll say, like was like
the best.
I miss his little baby face so much. We have so many videos, and I love watching his videos.
Okay.
But 2 years later is when I started seeing like, oh my gosh, us waking up together is just so amazing. And like, cause we do contact napping, so we all sleep together all the time in bed. We wake up together, and he's hugging Mama, Daddy's hugging Kim, and he's hugging Daddy, giving each other's kisses. It's just like my favorite thing. It's literally my favorite thing, and it's just so much that more than what I can ask for. And I feel like what it is like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but really it's a blinding light at the end of the tunnel. It's never ending. I feel like right now it's this beautiful. A year later it's going to be another beautiful, and it's going to be more and more and more and more. It's going to be compounding the beauty, you know, of what we have. So it's just been very fulfilling being a father.
Oh my God.
And I don't know. Now I understand what people mean, you know, when they say, oh my God, being parents the best. And I love that little boy so much.
Yeah, if you're a conscious parent, that's how it is.
Right. And it's, of course, going to be different for everybody. And people probably won't be like me, having a lag of the emotion, you know. You know, not going through trauma in that sense and having depression. So.
I do wish all fathers are like you, Ken, in expressing in their love for their children. And I was going to ask you if you were going to tell Bodhi that it's a beautiful world, but you already said it's beautiful. It's only going to get more and more beautiful.
Yeah, it is a beautiful world. This world, beautiful. We show them and tell them every day. You know, just the way that we talk, everything is just beautiful, amazing. We always say we're so lucky. And then when we give stuff away in the group, we tell them like, we're so abundant that we get to, now you're grown now we have so much toy, we get to give these to somebody else to use. And then when we get stuff from the group too that we spoke about, we can tell them how grateful we are for what we're being, you know, what's being given to us.
Yeah. So let's take a few minutes, because 3 minutes, last 3 minutes, talk to us about, this is how we met Mia.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you.
Buy Nothing, Las Vegas. So I'll let Ken talk about it.
So it's
3 minutes.
The group we have is called, that we met is Buy Nothing in Las Vegas. And that group basically is a kind of like a recycling group. A group that people do, because everybody, both day they throw away stuff. You know, there's stuff that people, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So people give things away to each other, or they can go on there and post and ask for stuff. And how me and Dot met, because she gave a potty, like a training potty that she never used. She posted that she needed it, and we were talking about, it's time to train Bodhi. And then so I met up with her, and that's how we met.
For who?
It was for Aiden, our grandson. He came over, he visited. I bought a potty for him here.
Oh, okay.
And when he came, he did not use it, so I gave it away when he left. He's from Austria. So then, now it's with, is it still with you? Or did you
passed
give it away?
it on. We actually didn't use it. We actually have one that we put on the toilet.
Okay.
So we ended up giving that away on our garage giveaway.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
it is.
It's just a beautiful group of recycling and giving and receiving.
Yeah, it operates on abundance.
Yeah.
That we have enough. We have everything.
But it's called Buy Nothing?
Buy Nothing.
Oh.
Bumili ka ng walang bilihan. Okay.
That's nice.
So you can ask.
I think the group got so big that we got split up now. I think ours is now Southwest Buy Nothing.
Yes,
Oh,
I mean
maybe
the
you could put it
Centennial
on
Buy
the-
Nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
put it
yeah.
on this.
And it's also on membership. I mean, you need to sign up according to your zone wherever you are. So,
Yeah.
very
Or
No
zip
fee,
code.
no fee. Just
Zip code, yeah.
yeah, you just gotta be a member of the group. Right?
Yeah, at least you know.
Yes.
It's very
So-
useful.
So that's it. That's our, for me, that's my closing remark. We live in an abundant world,
Yes, we
and
are.
it's a beautiful world. So before we go to, who goes first to say closing remarks, Mia or Ken?
You can go first.
I was gonna add. You mentioned saying, showing love. I think the kids feel it. You don't have to say,
Oh, yes.
right?
That's
They
right.
feel it if you love them. So you're doing a good job with your
Thank
kids.
you. Thank you.
Good.
With your kid.
Nice. Nice.
We try.
nice.
We try.
All right. So
For
closing
me-
remarks to you.
Thank you so much for having me on here. It's been a blast, really. Just talking about it. And I feel like I hope that this message, my journey, will be able to help some other father out there, or some other parent, mom or dad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for joining us.
Of course, thank you.
So that's it. Thank you so much, Ken. Thank you to your wife, Michelle, and to your son, Bodhi, for your sharing of
Thank you.
the best in your family.
Thank you for having us.
See you next week. Next week is July.
Wow.
July na.
My dear.
Okay, we'll have a
Right.
different theme next week. So see you, friends.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.